Hey, what's up, Sports Talk Detroit? We are coming back at you. We got good feedback on Lions mock draft 1.0. So we're coming back at you with Lions mock draft 2.0. And we might have a little surprise for you. There could be a trade in this mock draft. So we want to keep it legitimate. We don't want to go for too much reaches. I think for the first one, I know I was just like, hey, this is my dream draft.
Yeah.
So I tried to get much more down to earth with this one. So we know where our draft position is, even more coming off what the Rams have done. We're going to be 31 or 32. Let's just assume 32 and that the Rams beat the Bengals. So we're going to pick there, but we still have the number 2 pick. So Chris, I want to kick this to you. Sports Talk Detroit, the nation wants to know, who are you taking mock draft 2.0 with the number 2 pick? Are you staying with the number 2 pick? What do you got?
Yep. Staying with number 2. Going to surprise you a little bit. I think that Hutchinson goes number 1. If he doesn't go number 1, I want him at number 2, but I think Hutchinson's gone. So then we go with the number 2 pick, Nakobe Dean.
Whoa.
What? So here's why.
You're going the other. I think we both picked Dean with like number 28 last time.
Well, the feedback was like Dean's not going to be there, and I agree. I think he's a top 10 pick.
He's gone in the top 15 for sure.
Yeah, so I'm kind of like, hey, look, the reason I say him, I'll give him a quick reason because it's a big decision. Is we need defensive help. Where's the most impact right away? Day one plays the most. It's that middle linebacker position. Whereas Thibodeau, it's like, is he a third down pass rusher? Can he play the run? It's just kind of like he's a fine-tuned Ferrari that we bring in versus a guy that just anchors the defense. Boom, book it, done. It's like the Penei Sewell on the defensive side. Just we're done.
Like
we
a Ford Explorer, but like the police cruiser, so it's all souped up and like doing well. So he's fast, but he can do a little bit of everything. Reliable.
Reliable. It's just what a nice thing to just boom, like what a way to change your defense in one pick right there. I just think you get the most bang for your buck by going right for Nakobe Dean. Don't screw around. We're going to take him. Let's go to the next one. So Craig, that's who I take at number 2. How about you?
All right. I don't know why I did that sound, but I think that's a sound we're going to play when we have a trade to announce.
Love it.
The Detroit Lions have found another team that makes no sense with what they're doing when they draft usually, and it is the New York Jets. The New York Jets want to bolster their pass rush. They just got a quarterback last year. Now they want that defensive line to be just stout. So they've moved in because he's still sitting on the board. They want him, or they want the pretty shiny toy in Thibodeau. I'm fine with that. So they have decided to go into the number 2 pick. They have the number 4 and number 10 pick. They trade the number 4 pick to us. So we move back 2 spots and we get their 3rd round pick as additional compensation. So we get number 4 and number 69. And the reason I'm doing this is because I am not sold on Thibodeau yet. Nope. Right. We're just not there for me. I'm not there. So it's like, all right, if we don't have a guy we're sold on at number 2, let's move back to number 4 and get the guy we really want anyway, which is Kyle Hamilton, safety out of Notre Dame, 6'4", 220 pounds, can run. I was watching film on him last night. He has that unique speed. I call it Vince Young speed. So when he runs, it looks like he's not running that fast, but he is covering some serious ground. He had a couple of interceptions where he's on the opposite hash. He sees the throw going up, and it's like Madden speed, right? On all Madden with the defense, and he runs across the field to get an interception on the opposite sideline. Not to mention the size. You can bring him in the box. Like, he is so versatile. His measurables are just absolutely nuts. And he's flying up the board. So that is it. No number 2, number 4, Kyle Hamilton, and I'm happy about it too.
Love it. Yep, I love that one.
So let's move into the next one. All right. So we're at the back end. We're assuming pick number 32. So let's go to pick number 32. Who are you taking with? This is the Rams pick that we own.
Yeah. So probably going to get flack for this one, but it's like,
why are you getting flack?
Yeah, here we go. So I want a receiver here. And I think there's a lot of good receivers, and I think one of them is going to fall to us. And I have Olave fallen to us at 32.
Oh, yeah, you are going to get flack. People are going to comment.
Keep
dreaming, buddy.
Keep dreaming. So here's why. Between Wilson, so it's either Wilson or London. I mean, one of the receivers is going to be there. I just think quarterbacks are going to start going. Defense, O-line. the only thing that scares me is we are seeing Jamar Chase. We're seeing, it's a copycat league where it's like, look at that wide receiver comes in, immediate impact, and I get it, and that's why we want a receiver as well. But I'm gonna say Olave. I know people are gonna be like, oh, he's gonna be gone at pick 6, but I think
no, he won't.
Somebody will fall, and I'm taking Olave at 32. How about you?
So he's your guy that's going to fall, especially with Drake London just skyrocketing up draft boards.
It's like okay, that's the thing I would say. Not everybody can skyrocket. Like at some,
no.
It's like everyone's skyrocketing.
Somebody will drop.
Yes.
Somebody will drop. So a lot is going to happen between now and the draft. We have almost, my goodness, like almost 3 months. So like, it's just, well, no, it's almost 3 months.
It is.
So anyways, pick number 32. I went a little more conservative with you than you. I still went wide receiver. I took wide receiver David Bell out of Purdue. Okay, so I was looking at this. I did a little film deep dive in this, and what I like about David Bell are a few things. He has size at 6'2", not insane size, but he has good size, and he's a hands catcher. Like he proved that he can catch the ball with his hands. I think that's absolutely important. So especially if you're not creating great separation, but I also noticed he could create separation, and he could run after the catch. There was catch after catch with yak like crazy. He just has a strong lower body. So I think he would be a really good fit next to Amon-Ra St. Brown, because they're both kind of guys that are like, hey, we're going to get some work done after the catch, not just with pure speed, but with strength and balance. And not to mention, I'm going to give you some stats. I know Purdue passes a lot, but this year with an okay quarterback in 11 games, he only played in 11 games, 93 catches, almost 1,300 yards. Like that's production. Like that is absolute production. And he started producing as a freshman. It's his junior year. He came out after his junior year. He's young. Like, let's go. I'm excited about it. By the way, PFF has him graded at like number 77 overall. So nobody can give me garbage for taking him too late, say that he'll be off the board. He'll probably skyrocket up and go like 12.
But I love what you said about being able to catch with your hands, because as a rookie, especially, and you're seeing more, passes are just getting out quicker, and you're kind of in traffic. The days of, we were spoiled with Kelvin Johnson fade routes all day, or just go routes. Like that's, I mean, obviously, but it's more just, man, in there, can you catch the ball? It's going to be tight. It's going to be tight windows. And you just, like you said, receivers, unless you're super blazing speed, or those guys just aren't out there. You got to catch the ball. You got to catch it with your hands. So
got to do it.
I saw him too. And I just thought I'm like Purdue, but like you said, you do a little more deep dive.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, because when I think of Purdue wide receiver, I think of that little guy, the super little guy that like upset Ohio State. Yeah. So I'm like, let's get him out of here. But it's like, no, this dude's legit, and I would be great with that pick too. I think the wide receiver, we'll see what Brad Holmes does, because that is something he likes to wait on. But man, there's some great wide receivers, great class for wide receivers. Let's go.
Yeah. And he doesn't have to wait because of the great trade in the beginning. So he gets an extra 3rd round pick.
Yeah.
So he can wait, but he doesn't have to, because he's going to have plenty of picks. All right. The next pick is our first 2nd round pick, number 34. A good pick. Where are you going at 34? Hit me with it.
Yeah, same guy. I've just been on. I don't know. Is Lewis Sign out of Georgia? Their safety.
Yeah, safety.
Yep. You and I are both kind of like looking at our defense, of course, but our secondary. How cool would it be to just have a good safety that you've already picked one up? I'm going to pick one up right here. I just feel like, man, we haven't had a safety since I can't think of his name. Jeez.
And go for it. Don't worry about it, because it's been a minute, and that's fine. Are you thinking, no, you're not thinking Louis Delmas.
Western, go Broncos. No.
Hey, it would have been, what would have been great is if you just came on here and said, we haven't had a good safety since Benny Blades.
Yeah. Glover Quinn. Jeez.
Glover Quinn was very good.
Yes. Quandre Diggs, I loved, but he got traded, just so anyway, Lewis Sign at 34 for me. How about you? Pick. How about you at 34?
Yeah, it's a good pick. So because I already went safety, I almost doubled up on safety here, but I wouldn't have taken Sign. I would have taken Dax Hill. And just because of the athletic profile there, I think he's a good player. He could even play a little in the slot if you needed him to, but I'm sure I'll do that in mock draft 3.0, 4.0, something like that.
Yeah.
So with this one, because I've already taken a safety, I'm going linebacker. We have the need. You took it with the first pick. I took a safety with the first pick. So naturally, I'm just going to flip what you did.
Yep.
So it lets us know either we have no idea what we're talking about, or maybe we do know what we're talking about because we're flipped. So I'm going to take Brandon Smith, linebacker out of Penn State. And it's for almost one singular reason. He can he can defend the pass. He had 79.9, I think, PFF pass grade. He's 6'3", 240 pounds. He can run pretty well. Penn State is known for producing good linebackers. And so I think he just has the profile. And that's honestly what we've been missing. Brooks was atrocious against the pass this year. So at linebacker. Barnes. Why did I say Brooks? Why do I do that in draft? It's too many names.
Too many
Anyways,
names.
yeah, Barnes was just horrible against the pass. He really was. So if you bring in a guy that maybe can go well against that and still do other things, it sounds like it's good. I think even before that, he played a little bit of slot coverage for Penn State too. Like this guy's been all over the field. So I like the pick. I'm not super confident in it, but I still like the pick.
Oh yeah. And I love it. And you're exactly right. If you cannot cover the pass, well, newsflash, the Packers are watching film and they're just going to isolate you. I mean, in today's league, we don't even pretend anymore. It used to be like, hey, let's sneak this. It's like, we're going to just take him out of the backfield. We're going to put him right here in the slot. The linebacker shifts over. It's like,
I got man on man. See ya every time. I'm taking it.
And we'll do it, and they'll do it every time. And it's just, that's what the league is now. So if you got a guy that can't, like you said, Barnes, man, the poor guy just looked.
How many years has it been? Maybe I said Brooks because I just want it to be Derek Brooks, right? Because he's such a good linebacker for the Bucks. But like, how many years has it been since we've had a linebacker that could cover a tight end? Like, it's been a minute.
Well, and that's exactly, and that's my thought with taking Nakobe Dean right away. It's like, man, Jared Davis. I mean, we just have not had a linebacker that can just play in a while.
And by the way, Kyle Hamilton, my first pick at number 4, that dude can guard a tight end. He has the size and the speed to do it. So, I mean, now you have a couple of guys, and I think it really shores up the middle of our field, and we got torched over the middle quite a bit this year. So we really did. So, okay, next pick number 66. This is our first third round pick. Who you got?
So I really want to get some explosion, get something on the D line. So I went Logan Hall. He's a defensive end out of Houston. 6'6", 275. So he's big.
Yeah, tall. And good size.
Yeah, big and tall. And the reason I like him is because he did pretty well against the run. And it's that chicken or the egg. I don't know if it's chicken or the egg, but it's like, well, what do you want? Do you want a guy like an Ojabo that can just fly around? He's basically like he's like a big corner. The guy's like built for speed. He's like a track star with some pads on. But then, I feel like they're gonna run right at you all game. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or do you want a beefier guy that doesn't have the bend to get there? But for me, in the third round, I'll take him because he's bigger. He's played in multiple schemes in 4-3 and 3-4. And I like, that's what we're going to do with Aaron Glenn. Hopefully he's still around, but Aaron Glenn's going to do all sorts of different things. So it gives him a little bit of versatility, and he's a big guy. So it's less just straight pass rush and more, I can play a little bit. I can even move inside on third down. He's just more versatile. So that's why I took him in the third round. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, you need those guys. And when you're picking in the third round, you're not just hoping that he's going to be an immediate superstar, right? You're hoping that he has an athletic profile where he can do multiple things and he can be a good contributor for your team year one and for many years down the line. That's what you want out of a third rounder. So with third round, I went, I'm already going to a backup position. But it's a backup position that gets a lot of time on the field. I'm going tight end, and I'm going Trey McBride, Colorado State. I like the small school guys sometimes because you don't see them coming, and they pop when you put the film on. He pops. He's got a little bit of Gronk in him. I'm telling you, he's got a little Gronk. He falls awkwardly just like Gronk, but uses his arms really well to keep defenders off him for running after the catch. And he was a focal point of their offense. And he has good size. He's 6'4", 260. He's an efficient blocker. He's fine with blocking. He's not going to wow you with his blocking. It's not like bringing another offensive tackle in or something like that. But I think you could bring him in, and he's like a poor man's version of Hawkinson. So he can do a lot of the same things that Hawkinson can do, and it allows us to be more multifaceted. And Hawkinson has struggled with injuries for the last couple of years, not a ton, but he's had enough where it's like, all right, we need somebody behind him, not named Brock Wright, that can actually put up some good production. So I wanted him there, and he excels in the passing game. It's going to help Goff for sure.
I love that. I think tight end is a big, that's not a big need, but it's like, man, there's no depth.
It is. You need depth everywhere.
Yeah.
There's none there. There's none.
No. And like you said, Hawkinson, the odds that he plays all 17 games, obviously it's just zero. You're just going to get beat up. And so you got to give me something. And like you said, there's 2 tight end sets. There's H-back stuff. There's all sorts of things that you can't do unless you have the personnel. And if you've got two good tight ends, I mean, I love that inline, player at the tight end. It's an inline player that's like, are we blocking or are we going out for a pass? I mean, I just feel like that's such a great thing to have. And we saw it in the semifinal against Michigan. Georgia had 2 really good tight ends, and it's like, we're gonna run and we're just getting pounded, then we're gonna pass, and we're like, are we passing, are we running, do we bring in a big set? No, because it's just a great way in the 3rd round to add some juice to our team.
Yeah. And you've seen it throughout the league. You've seen teams do it pretty well. You saw the Patriots do it early on. First couple of years of success for the Titans, they were doing it where a lot of times you'd bring in 2 tight ends and you just don't know what you're going to do off of it. And we're a team that loves to run the ball. So if you have a tight end that could do either, it makes you so much more unpredictable. And I love Cabinda. Don't get me wrong. I love Cabinda, but when Cabinda's in the game, you have a pretty good idea of what we're going to do with it. Yep. So having more guys that are even more multifaceted, and Cabinda started catching the ball a little bit at the end of the year. I don't want to dog on Cabinda. I love this guy. I love Cabinda. So anyways, let's hopefully bring him back. So you're out of picks. I know we're going to have a compensatory pick at the end of the 3rd round, but those aren't awarded really till like early March. So we're not going there yet. But I still have another pick because
who you got?
I had such a good trade that I only moved back 2 spots and got an extra pick in the 3rd round out of it. That might be the only reach that I had. But with this pick number 69, I'm going edge. You just went edge. I'm going edge too. I'm going Josh Paschal. All right. This guy is out of Kentucky. And I don't know if I'm picking him more for his football ability, because he does have the ability to get to the quarterback. He's got decent size. He's 6'3", 280. So he's built and he's got a very quick first step. I don't know if I picked him for that or if I picked him for the commercial he did with his new NIL contract. He did a commercial for a dental office. I think I sent this to you like a month ago or something like that. It is one of the funniest commercials I've ever seen. If you haven't seen it, search this guy, look up his commercial, Josh Paschal. All right. Paschal is Paschal. Just type in his commercial. Like, you're going to be so happy when you watch this. If you don't laugh, you're a sad person. So get that personality on my team all day, especially in the 3rd round.
Well, it's funny as we talk about this, I saw a quote that's like, the only difference in franchises, because all these players are really good, all the sustained the sustained success always comes back to culture. And we hear that all the time, but it's like, so we're going to draft like just dudes like St. Brown that are just, they're a little weird. They love football. They love, you hear about the grind and the grit, and it's like, but we're going to get like good dudes like that, like just good dudes, like Dan Campbell. I don't know. It just, you know what I'm saying? I think everyone else does too. Like, we're just going to start building this culture the right way. So I love it. And you and I both nailed about 3 things: the end, the linebacker, safety. Yeah. And those are the 3.
We must be on the same page. And that's kind of how it fell with this one, is like, all right, I manufactured 1 to get what we wanted at the right level. And then the rest, it just kind of fell. Talent fell into the right spot. So,
I love it. And that's why the draft is so cool. There's so many ways to get there, so many ways. And it's like, what do you do? So I love it.
Yeah. Speaking of so many ways, there's so many ways. I don't know if you can hear my son upstairs, like just making all the noise in the world on the floor above me, but hopefully it didn't come through the mic. Anyways,
I think you're good.
I think I'm good. All right. Sounds good. That's what 3-year-olds do. They make a lot of noise. So, hey, that's it. That's Lions mock draft 2.0. I don't know about you, but I give us a better grade on this mock draft than the first one. I like this one a lot more. But thanks you so much for watching, everybody. Hey, if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. We appreciate it, and it's super helpful for us. And go Lions. Hey, we're talking draft, Lions Super Bowl. Let's go.
Let's go, baby. See you on the next one.
See ya.